We're not even out of the double digits yet, and already we're out of Sinnoh starters. Ladies and gentlemen, Chimchar.
Chimchar's evolutionary line is by and large one of the most threatening Pokemon on this list. Not necessarily by its design, but by its stats and its move pool. Yeah, it's straightforward, but that's made up in spades with its very high speed and worthwhile attack stats. Yeah, its defenses aren't all that, but are you really expecting something that looks skinnier than Ash to have the defenses of a tank?
In the anime, Chimchar was given a ton of focus, mainly because it was the centerpiece in the rivalry between Ash and Paul. To start off, Paul first obtained Chimchar when it was shown using Blaze against some Zangoose. Since then, he was always pushing Chimchar to its limits, even if Chimchar was showing signs of pain. Ultimately, Paul released Chimchar after its fear of Zangoose nearly lost him a match, where Ash picked him up shortly after. And since then, he participated in nearly every important battle afterwards, and in each battle, it always found a way to KO at least one of the opponent's Pokemon. However, the only real problem with Chimchar was that it took up too much of the spotlight. Yes, I see that it was the main plot point in a rivalry, but I felt it got too much attention. It was satisfying to see Infernape eventually beat Paul's Electivire, Paul's main Pokemon, in the Sinnoh League, but I also would have liked to see more with Ash's other Pokemon. But still, I enjoyed Chimchar both in the anime and in the games. Just not as much as the other firefighting Pokemon on this list. Like the next Pokemon. Here we go, the original firefighting starter Pokemon, Blaziken, and by affiliation, Torchic and Combusken. What can I say about it, other than, well...
You better recognize!
Well, thanks to the Dream World, it's broken. Yes, Blaziken is currently the only starter ever to be banned in every non-Uber tier, thanks to its new ability, Speed Boost. This is only complemented by the additional boost in High Jump Kick, thus making it much more usable now. Sure, defense-wise it sucks, but its role is just to survive a turn or two, and proceed to sweep.
However, even without the broken ability, Blaziken is still pretty powerful on its own, which still baffles me how something this powerful is based off a farm animal. But as my first starter in Hoenn, it was kind of weird choosing a fire starter, then having to deal with Roxanne, a rock-type gym leader. However, once it got to evolve, it made quick work of her, and it made Hoenn easy, until the 6th gym leader, where all of them were super effective against Blaziken. Not to mention of all that friggin' water! Yes, you heard me rant about it before, but this is why we put an Uber tier Pokemon so low. It's too easy to start off with, but then it's too difficult at the end. There's no middle ground with it, and that doesn't provide the best first time experience. As for the anime, I have to say I watched a couple episodes of the Advanced series, and though I don't have anything negative to say about May's Torchic, I don't have anything positive to say about it either.
It won some contests.
I figured as much.
Coming in as our third fire starter in a row, we have Cyndaquil. Basically, it's the Charizard line, only better, for the most part. Sure, it retains a weakness to ground, but hey, at least it takes less from Stealth Rock. The line's based off of what happens when you mix Badgers with Volcanoes. Not realistically, because in real life that would result in more dead Badgers. As for how it works in the show though, it's pretty solid. The only real issues it would have would be against Claire's Kindra and the Devil. I meant Whitney's Miltank.
Roll out, proceed to sweep. Even owns you in the anime. I also have to say that its move pool is pretty solid, focusing on its special attack and having good coverage on it as well. It's not the best move pool, but it's not like it's number 1 here. Being my first choice choosing fire starters while I was young, I have to say, it made for the smoothest first time run when it comes to fire starters. Not much more needs to be said due to how straightforward this thing is, but in the anime, Cyndaquil was pretty much Ash's mandatory fire Pokemon after Charizard left. For the most part, it got the job done. Jimmy also had a Typhlosion in the anime, and this pretty much sums up everything.
Typhlosion? What are you laughing at?
I think it's kind of sweet and kind of cute.
No! Marina, stop!
The only problem? Dawn gets one eventually.
So, are we gonna put the final fire star Pokemon here?
Nope, Oshawott.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. We went through half of this list, and only now do we talk about a starter Pokemon from Unova.
What? They're awesome.
Oshawott is pretty cool. I mean, it's a samurai otter that evolves into a samurai elder with sword pouches on its legs, which makes for a very strange female Samurott.
Hey, my first Samurott was a female.
Oh. Well, anyways, the overall move pool is pretty good. It has a huge array of physical moves, as well as Sword Dance to boost such moves, while it also has a stronger standard special attack and a still usable special moveset. Nothing truly sticks out except for Mega Horn, which is frickin' powerful, and Razor Shell, which, be honest, when you first saw this move, you thought it was an Oshawott exclusive. Cloyster would like to prove you wrong.
Oshawott was Ash's first Unova starter in the anime. He could be described as a jolly fellow, but initially he could have also been seen as a burden. Many of his battles were won solely based on lucky shots. This is best shown in Oshawott's battle against Lenora's Watchdog, where he won only because he landed an Aqua Jet on it. Which is ironic at the same time because Lenora planned her battles ahead to mess with the organized strategy, while in this case, it was spontaneous working in Ash's favor. But speaking of Aqua Jet, it had a tough time controlling Aqua Jet at first because it wouldn't open its eyes in water. It later learned how to open its eyes after Ash was ambushed by Time Pulse and a Stunfisk. Yeah, sadly, this was the peak of its development, and afterwards, it became rather bland. But still, Oshawott is a pretty cool Pokemon. It's just our least favorite of the Unova starters.
It should say something when the worst Unova starter beats out over half of the list.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god!
Yeah, I'll just leave this one to you.
So, as you should know, Chikorita is my favorite of the Johto starters. In your Johto journeys, it starts off nicely as a supporter, having access to moves such as Poison Powder, Reflect, Synthesis, and Light Screen naturally. This isn't to say that you can't have it as an attacker, for it has access to both physical and special grass attacks, allowing for many options. You don't build teams around Chikorita, you build Chikorita around your teams. Which does mean you'll pretty much be required to use other Pokemon, but unlike Charmander, it's not limited. Where in areas your best bets with Charmander was Mankey, Pikachu, and Oddish, Chikorita has Ghastly, Geodude, Mareep, Onix, Slowpoke, Zubat, the list goes on, and so does the variety of movesets you can use. The first two gym leaders might cause disadvantage, but the variety in the move pool and the area allows you a lot more freedom. Speaking of, Bayleaf is easily one of the best stand-ups to the Devil Spawn itself that gave Quilava such a hard time. With a recovery move of its own, access to Reflect, and generally higher defenses, Bayleaf can single-handedly beat everyone's nightmare, or at least wall it off. Just as well, Claire's Kingdra does not resist Meganium's stab moves. And plus it has over the other two. Even if the other two are better than Meganium against Jasmine, it can still hold out on its own. So there's no real reason not to use it. After all, it's based off of frickin' sauropodic dinosaurs. It's also rather true that it's useful in competitive play as well, and I also feel it's underestimated. as it does have an expansive move pool that will often make a utility based, but make it unpredictable in that sense. And in the anime, Bayleaf is so cute! I mean, just listen to it! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Yee!
Well, moving on.